Thank you for joining us wherever you are. This podcast episode is brought to you by the Old Ways Actual Play team. This actual play uses the 7th edition Call of Cthulhu tabletop role-playing game rules by Chaosium. This actual play is performed by adults and in an adult setting. While we try very hard to stick to language for all ages, listeners should know that this podcast may include mature themes. All content, including names, places, events, companies, and etc., that may bear resemblance to entities living or dead, is strictly coincidental. My name is Michael Diamond, and for tonight's game, I will be your keeper. Thank you for joining us again on another episode of the Old Ways Podcast. I'm your keeper, Keeper Michael, and we return to Mask of Nyarlathotep in our China chapter. As we like to do at the top of the show, we'd like to thank you, the listener, and especially you, the Patreon supporter. If you'd like to check out what we have to offer on Patreon, you can at patreon.com/theoldwayspodcast. We'd heartily encourage you to subscribe to us on YouTube for all sorts of other visual elements that are coming very soon. And now we're going to get started with introductions. To my right,
this is Tiffany, and I play Maeve O'Shea, and my 1v1 went better than expected and also worse.
I think that's sort of the best way it could possibly have gone. To Miss O'Shea's right.
This is Morgan. I play Lillian Lane and got Jack almost up and moving.
Listen, a little bit of whiskey and a few cigarettes and Jack will be perfectly fine. Speaking of, at the end of the table.
This is Jake. I'm playing Jack Doyle, and I'm not dead yet.
Not yet.
I'm working on it.
You are. To Mr. Doyle's right.
This is Lonnie. I'm playing Robert Drummond, and I have conquered a door.
Indeed you have. And you've found what appears to be the remnants of a battle, it seems.
Yeah, but the important part, I conquered a door.
You conquered something. Absolutely. To Robert's right.
Hi, this is Heather, and I play Anastasia Edwina Fairchild, otherwise known as Stasi. And at this point, if I'm dying, I'm taking it all with me.
All is a very, we'll just say encompassing word, Miss Fairchild. Be careful what you wish for.
As much as possible. At most.
Okay.
Some.
We'll keep that in mind.
A gathering.
To Stasi's right.
Hi, this is James, and I'll be playing Dr. Sigmund Hardenbach. And, other weapons I've had has been good, but it's a bucket, yeah.
All kneel before the bucket. And last, but most certainly not least.
This is Alex playing Saint-Bellon, and in this moment I am not only out of my depth, I'm out of ideas, and luck is literally running out.
It does happen. And so we'll raise the curtain tonight back inside the innards of a volcano, where seemingly the last member of the Carlisle expedition expires at Miss O'Shea's feet, leads out into the stonework of the workshop here. And you get that moment of recovery. We are out of rounds for the moment. So I think it will be apt to start this portion of the story off with a little bit of additional work on you, Miss Fairchild, as the poison still works its way through your body. You take another 5 points of damage.
There are times I always hated being a talker.
You could feel it rack through your body, the bloodstream, the joints in your shoulders and arms starting to stiffen. You're having a really difficult time breathing. But if there's one truth, you got your man.
And he went before I did. The multi-tentacled beast ahead of me, is it still moving towards me? Is it still in place? Is it still doing its thing?
It's moved to the edge of this pool here, and it's sort of raised all of its arms, and it seems to be cavorting a bit by this pool. You can see that it's leaning back and then leaning forward. It seems to start swaying back and forth.
Yeah, that's not good. I don't even need to know.
There's a collective light that begins to start illuminating the ends of its limbs. You're not sure what's going on.
I would like to see if I can tickle it enough to disrupt it.
Okay. So you're going to go over to the creature and attempt to distract it?
I'm going to move within range of it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what this thing can really do. And I would like to shoot.
Okay. I'll position you there and get back to you just a moment. Miss O'Shea inside the workshop, Mr. Drummond inside the workshop space, now the doctor inside the workshop space. Moments thereafter, you're catching the after effects of this battle in here. The air in here is very it has a really strange smell to it.
It smells like ozone.
Maybe. Yeah.
Doc goes over to Maeve and begins checking her over.
Okay.
It appears she did not escape entirely unscathed and may have taken a hit point or two of damage. So
I would say that she is not unscathed. No.
Okay. Well, he will begin his. He will help her to perhaps sit for a moment, or at least rest against something, while he does his medical dance.
First, she's going to go pick up the sword cane and put it together and hand it to the doc. And then she'll go sit down.
Dankeschön, Fräulein. But the cane will be here, and you are the one I worried about. So he gently sits her down on a rock or, bench or something like that, and begins attending to her, burns, lacerations.
All of the above.
Begins to do his thing.
All right, so that's first aid. You won't get medicine in this time.
Nope, totally understand. That is a 60. That is a 67. You know what? I'll spend 3 luck to get that down to a success. Okay. So 67 or 64. So I will spend 3 luck.
Okay, you spend 3 luck. You make some quick work. You essentially make sure that she's not going to bleed out.
Yep.
Hit point wise, I'm not necessarily certain where Miss O'Shea is on the ladder, but I assume not great.
No. Yeah, just 2. I have 2 hit points.
She's not in the best way.
All right. He definitely helps her relax a bit, patches her up some, and stands up with the aid of the cane, his new cane, and helps her up.
You have to put the bucket down, unfortunately, to do so.
He does so regrettably, so that to help her up, and then scoops the bucket back up, because there's still, I imagine, quite a bit of noise coming from the other room.
Yeah, there's definitely some stirring going on out there. Robert, you'd probably have a good vantage point, given that the doors are now literally smashed on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
You'd have a good vantage point of this enormous statue with all of the arms is now by one of the far pools, and it seems to be waving its arms back and forth. You're not truly certain what it's doing, but you can also see that there's a form behind it that is continuing to approach. And you think that's Miss Fairchild. And she has a rifle with her, maybe? It looks like she might have one of those tanks on.
Time to go. I am going to fireman's carry Miss O'Shea out of here.
Okay.
She's obviously the more seriously damaged.
I will just say, I accept that that's going to be your action. I'm going to let Miss O'Shea decide whether or not she's going to be fireman carried out. She may choose to resist you.
I mean, I don't know that I'm in a position to really fight that.
Okay. So if you relent, then you'll just pick her up. Okay. So I guess he's going to put you over his shoulders. And I guess, are you going to give her a piggyback ride?
Yeah, pretty much. As you used to see in wrestling, one arm over the legs,
okay.
One arm over the torso,
all right,
and out the door.
So yeah, you take. He sort of comes at you in a quick motion, and you find that Mr. Drummond is both physically able to lift you without breaking much of an effort, and he puts you over his shoulder. So now all of your view of everything, Miss O'Shea, is sideways. It's sort of in a strange space, and he begins to hustle you out after saying, all right, time to go.
Okay. I can't run at this point. I know that, so.
Not likely. Miss Lane and Mr. Doyle, you're still mentally, physically recovering, trying to find your energy back. And you see the doctor and Miss O'Shea and Mr. Drummond burst out of that room, and Drummond is carrying her out.
God, I hope Pinhead's dead. I grasp for my gun.
It's not there. You look around. Oh, it's over there on the ground.
Pick it up and kind of roll to my feet slowly.
Oh, that hurts. Oh, that hurts too. Whoa. Well, you shouldn't breathe for a little while. That hurts too.
I get up to assist him.
Thank you.
Wait, we gotta go.
The two of you get to your feet. You see Sam on a portion of this rocket scaffolding, these pipings that they're carrying it up. He's wrenching things open with some sort of tool in his hand. You see, he seems to be destabilizing this structure in a fairly effective manner.
Sam, we got to go.
Almost done.
Sam, give me a mechanical repair roll.
Question for the keeper.
Yes.
Just so I know there's a giant statue moving. I can't focus on it right now, but the fighting seems to have stopped.
It does. Yes.
I'm going to keep working, but now that I have a moment to think, I will pause briefly. Do I think, because I was just going to I just wanted to kind of screw up the launch, but I feel like we have I'm feeling ambitious. Do I think I could get this thing to fall into the pool?
It might be a little tough to get it to fall into the pool. That you would need some sort of something additionally to like damage the platform itself.
Oh, I see. Okay. But if I just work on like one side of it, this thing is suspended over the lava, right?
Yep.
So if I go out to say the edges where this thing's supported, where all of the arms are kind of keeping the platform out here, if I drop one side of it, do I think I could get it to like basically just list into the pit? It wouldn't be like a straight drop, but
it wouldn't be a straight drop. It's possible, but you'd also have to have a tool that would work on the larger portion, the large side of those pipes.
Okay.
You're talking about like a massive pipe wrench to be able to do something like that, or potentially like an explosive device.
Yeah, I only have the smallest of bombs, so it's no good. Yeah, then I will continue just trying to get it to tip, basically.
Okay, go for it. Mechanical repair.
That's a success, 54 under 63.
All right, you have one left to work out. You are working this one as best you can.
I will continue to dodge. Get everybody out of here. Is everybody alive? Where is everybody?
You have no idea. Oh shit, Jack looks really hurt. He's being like not carried out, but helped along by Lillian.
Yeah, I imagine like there's pipes hissing, and so I'm just probably yelling over all this. And
so the group collectively, or some of the group collectively, begins to move out. Miss Fairchild, would you care to make a firearms roll?
I would.
Okay. You're going to be at advantage for this because you are going to get close enough.
58 over 30.
Okay.
I think that poison's taking some effect on me.
You spray this area and you see the ground change color in front of you. It changes from a dark and ashen color to like a brighter red color under the feet of this statue. And the statue seems to continue in its reverie, but it steps in one of those spots. And you see it flinch and then turn.
This has to end here.
All right. That is your action. I am also going to deal you this fourth time is 10. So you have 2 more potential hit points you could take from the poison at this juncture. You double over in pain as it feels like something is trying to eat your insides out.
I continue yelling, Jack, I shot Ho Fang. I don't see him. Do you see him?
No, I don't see him.
We're not really looking for him right now.
Do I hear yelling?
You hear yelling, but it's...
Yeah, it's indistinct, but I'm hearing voices yelling. Okay, that's what I figured.
So the group at large minus Sam are making their way out.
When we get towards that way, if I see that gun line, that Lillian drop lying on the ground there.
The tank gun?
Yeah.
It's pretty far on the far side.
Well, I mean, we're headed that way anyhow.
You will eventually encounter it. It's not just not really a gun, but you see the nozzle and the wand end.
Right, I want to grab it.
Okay, you grab it.
And throw it into the lava.
Okay. Gonna make me a throw roll, Jack?
Oh, crap.
Because you're trying to do something specific.
Oh, shit, I rolled a 1.
That's fantastic. Take 5 points of luck.
Hey, I have 5 points of luck.
You heave this tank up into the air. And for probably the first moment or two, you don't think it has any chance of getting anywhere near this lava pit at all. And then slowly, the arc of cinematic justice begins to come into view. And it careens towards the space between the rocket and the ground. Sam, you see this happen. You watch Jack basically discus throw this tank, no bigger than a fire extinguisher tank really, but just super smooth and sort of oddly pointed at each end. It sails through the air and disappears under the crust of that makes up the ground.
I have 2 thoughts. 1 is that was a brilliant throw. 2, I don't know what the hell that was. I'm sure I'll find out.
You do. You all do, actually. A couple seconds later, there is a earth-shaking boom that runs through the ground. It cracks the crust here on the ground. Lava shoots into the air. Magma enters the main chamber. Sam?
Yep.
Given your position, I'm going to have you make me a hard dex roll to not get splashed by lava.
Oof. Okay. I will do my best. That's a 6 under 75. It's an extreme success.
Very good. You pancake yourself onto the rocket. Grip it with both hands to sort of get away from not only the magma that flies up through the air, but the heat that comes with it. You feel the burns across your face appear immediately, just from the proximity effect.
I will scream, "What the hell?"
The lava splashes down all over the place, including on these pipes. And when the splash hits, the pipes are almost immediately incinerated from the heat. They stand no chance against molten lava. And the rocket begins to destabilize and list immediately. The statue roars. One of its arms is going to take a swipe at you, Miss Fairchild, as it attempts to get to the center of the room.
Dodge?
Certainly. Dodge is a wonderful,
Yes, it is.
wonderful thing which you should totally do.
And that was a 68 under 80.
Okay. So I rolled a 22, but Hand of Fate is going to step in here and is going to upgrade your success to a hard.
Okay.
And thus allow you to escape this nasty tentacle arm swipe. So you're in luck. Someone likes you.
Yay. Thank you, Patreon.
So, Sam, you have a distinct problem, and that problem is that the platform you're on is now no longer stable.
Mm-hmm.
And while you dreamed of a way of happening, it seems Jack has read your mind and made things a little bit more dicey. Getting off this in time is going to be, we'll just say, a feat.
I don't need their tools anymore, so I abandoned those as I need my hands free. And I will do my absolute damnedest to, I guess, tightrope walk this platform to at least the point where I could try to make a jump to get to the edge.
So I think it's a hard climb roll
for
something like that. And then I think, provided that you can make the hard climb roll, it'll put you in position next round to make a potential roll to get out.
Okay, like a jump roll.
Probably, yeah.
Okay, great. We love these. All right, let's climb. That is not a hard success.
It is not.
But this is an intense situation. And if the risk of me failing is me going headfirst into lava, I feel like I really want to push this roll because that would be an amazing way to go out. Because I don't know if I have another option, right? Like the options are, or I spend like 30 odd luck.
Well, it's a hard climb roll required, Mr. Drummond. So he would need he would need to spend an awful lot of luck to get there. Not that you couldn't, but
not that I couldn't. But I feel like Sam is fearless right now. And so I must be fearless. And so Sam is going to... Go ahead.
How would you push the roll?
So I'm going to jump early. And instead of running down, I'm going to slide down.
Okay.
Because I'm suspended, right? Like these things, these arms are they're at like an angle, right? So instead of running down, I'm going to drop and kind of use them as a zip line of sorts.
Ooh.
So it's still a climb roll.
I'm happy to let you push that roll. I would just simply say this as a reminder. Failed push rolls are bad.
Aren't they? But that's a hard success. That's the 3276.
Nice.
You manage to find a way to slink down. You take on more of a feline role in your actions. Perhaps Bast is looking down on you, smiling. Perhaps not. It's possible. Cats are notoriously, we'll just say fickle.
That's the word I would use. I feel favored.
You do. And you make the hard climb roll to get to the edge of the pipe, which will allow you soon to make a jump roll to get out.
Yeah. My body's ready.
Miss Fairchild, this statue is now careening towards the center of the room. What are you doing? It does appear like all is lost around you. Everything is breaking down.
How close is it to the lava in the center?
Currently, the creature is roughly speaking about 3 to 4 meters from the edge.
I want to fire again, but I am not firing at the creature itself. I am firing at the ground around its feet.
Okay.
Or at its feet. Yeah.
Sure. You're going to try to sort of burn away perhaps some of the crust and see if you can damage the ground enough to make a difference.
Either it's going to slow it up or it's going to possibly, if done well enough, if my dice decide to cooperate, possibly more.
Yeah, don't worry about that. First, though, you're going to take a little bit more damage from this poison.
Yes, I am.
So you're going to take 2 more points. And how many points you got left there?
I'm at 8 hit points.
Okay, good.
Okay. This is a shot. Literally. And I will spend 1 point of luck to make that a success.
Okay. So roll 2d10 for me.
9 plus 8, so 17.
17 is a significant amount of damage to the ground. So it does appear to light up the ground underneath the creature's feet. The creature responds by leaping into the air. Sam, over your left shoulder as you're sliding down this pipe, preparing for your jump, there is a large object that begins to interdict in towards your view. Now, it's not likely going to make contact with you don't think, but you can see this thing coming out of the steam and the swells of lava that have begun to pick up here. There is an enormous multi-appendaged being that looks like it's trying to come from the depths and the beyond to kill you.
You know, I'm not surprised.
I mean, you shouldn't be.
But that doesn't mean it's right. That ain't right.
The rest of the investigators have made it to the stairway, and they can begin making their way out, should they so choose, which... so I suppose that leaves Stasi and leaves Sam here in the clutches of the volcano. So, Sam, if you would like to make your hard jump roll now to...
Gotta be hard.
It's because you're doing something, quite frankly, pretty fantastic.
I know. So that's a 35 under 68. I will spend 1 point of luck to make that a hard success.
You leap into the air. Behind you, there is a resounding gong sound as you're sort of tumbling end over end to make it to the crust of this volcano. You see this creature connect with the portion of the platform you were on, and the platform cracks, and the rocket lists again. And all the math in your head says you want to be nowhere near this place when those two things meet.
Oh no, this is a rocket. Yeah, and there's all sorts of this is going to be the most magnificent explosion I've ever witnessed if I live through it. So if I see the creature, does that mean I see Stasi?
Yeah, probably a little bit further beyond. She's more towards the middle portion of the platform, between the water and where the water on that side of the room, the far side of the room, and where the circle is. She has some sort of wand tank weapon here in her hand, one of the flamethrowers, you think.
How far away is she?
From you, she is
Yes.
you're probably looking at 20 meters.
Okay, my movement's 9. Here's what I'd like to do. This is a creature from beyond the beyond.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's a statue, but it sure looks like a creature now.
Yeah. So I am not equipped to fight this thing, but neither is Stasi. And we need to get out of here because there's going to be a really big kaboom. So as I run toward Stasi, I will pull the last drought from my bag. And when I get to her, I will belch a mighty cloud at that location. And I'm going to scream, "Let's go!" And I will pull on her and the tank and attempt to entice her to leave. If she resists, I'm leaving her behind.
Make me a luck roll, Miss Fairchild, and I'm going to, not for you or for Sam or for anything else.
I'm pretty sure I know what this is for.
Other than the
Hold on,
tank
the
strap
tank.
on your back that you've made multiple full power charges at.
This is not going to be good. Yeah, that is a 49 over 13, which is where I'm at right now.
13, ye say. Okay. So it's clear from the heat that you're feeling on the back of the tank that something is happening, continuing to happen inside of it. You feel basically like there's a squirrel inside this tank and it's bouncing around now.
Mm-hmm.
You use that draught, Sam, to give yourself cover. And you reach for her. And when you reach for her, you realize that on her back, that tank she has is glowing.
That's the same thing that I saw Jack throw.
Yep. You're enough of a chemist to know what an uncontrollable reaction inside of a container looks like from the outside.
It's going to explode.
It is.
Well, we don't have time to be gentle about it. What are the straps made of? Leather?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I pull the sharpest tool I have, and I'm going to sever that thing from its owner as cleanly as I possibly can. But I'm going to hack to get this thing off of her back.
Okay. So I suppose I'll give you the fighting brawl roll, knowing that you're going to use the machete.
Yep.
And I'll just say this. You're going to have to do enough damage to the straps to get it off in one turn. Otherwise, it could go off right here.
I understand that.
Okay. Go for it.
I feel like time is of the essence, right?
I think it is.
So that's a hard success. That's a 38 under 78. So it's not like an impale. But shit. I mean, how strong are straps?
Well, I'll just say this, given that the weapon does go through any sort of mystical armor, we'll just say that it's not going to offer you it's not going to have any additional defense So 2 damage is enough to cut into one of these straps. You have to yank it off. And then, Miss Fairchild, I'm going to have you make a dexterity roll to peel like a banana at knowing what he's doing.
I think if I saw him come up with a knife and start to hack off, be like, oh, okay, time to take this off. That is a 20 under 40, so that is a hard success.
Okay, very good. You hack one of the straps, and Stasi seems to
figure it out pretty quickly.
Yeah, immediately understand what you're trying to do, Sam, and she pirouettes out of the other part of the backpack.
Then I would definitely help. I would do what I could to assist with that momentum and just kind of leave it there where we are.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just going to run the other way, pushing Stasi in front of me, assuming she can run.
I will just wait and pick up the pack and throw it into the lava.
Okay, so you're going to stop to pick up the pack and throw it into the lava?
No, you're not. The bag is staying right there, and we are running away from it.
Okay. So what is your move, Stasi? What's your MOV score? And then Sam, what's yours? Is it 9?
I'm 9, yeah.
You're 9.
Move, I'm an 8.
So you both move fairly fast. That said,
Or throw it towards the lava. I don't know if I'll make it. But
you're not going to make it into the with the throw. That will not happen.
okay.
It would take way more time and effort than you're going to be able to do. And it's fairly clear that the rest of the investigators have already cleared this space. The run up the stairway is like running away from a freight train. Footfalls. Robert, you are gassed after the first 50 or so stairs. You are a man who keeps himself in excellent physical condition, but even carrying Miss O'Shea, plus or minus the enormous ass, is a serious physical exertion. So for our investigators who are fleeing, you're going to make a constitution roll to see if you can keep pace. Remember, you're reporting in order for me, so start with you, Miss O'Shea.
It's whatever Drummond rolls, because thankfully he probably has a better con than I do.
Oh, actually, speaking of that, Robert, yours is a hard requirement then.
What the fuck?
He's carrying 2 people. So we'll say Miss Lane first then.
I'm still helping Jack out, but I did get a 19 out of 60, which is a hard success.
Okay, fantastic. You're helping Jack. Jack, how did you do?
I did 22 under 55.
Okay, so the 2 lovebirds managed to keep pace. Mr. Drummond.
57 out of 95.
Ooh, 57 out of 95.
That is not
Robert,
hard.
I'm going to play a hand of fate for you, and I'm going to make that a hard success.
Thank you, Patreon.
Miss Fairchild.
Yeah, that is a 70 over 55.
That's problematic for you.
Yes, it is.
Doctor?
Can we spend luck on this?
It's an ability roll, absolutely.
Okay, then I am going to spend 2 luck and make it on the nose.
Okay.
On the nosy.
Sam?
I got a 58 under 65.
Okay.
That's a success.
So seemingly everyone does very well. There is an explosion that goes off. Sam, you outdistance Stasi on the stairs. You are being chased by this sound, this concussive blast that goes off. And when you look back, moments before you are propelled out the side of this volcano from the blast, a cloud envelops Miss Fairchild. For the rest of you, you don't make it all the way out, but you make it up far enough that when the blast comes, it collapses part of the volcano. And that volcano side that collapsed opens you out back into the jungle. And you, for more or less of a descriptive, you sort of slide down the last portions of this volcano as it becomes sand and dust and ash and rubble. And you slide out the side. As overhead, an enormous gout of lava reaches into the sky.
Well, damn.
Doc stands and just watches the volcano for a moment because, I mean, how many other times are you going to have to watch this?
It is magnificent in its terrifying nature. It isn't erupting per se. It is responding to the blast that seems to have gone on near its core. Steam begins to plume off the other side, and you can see white and other types of colored gases that seem to be coming out of it. It smells like burning metal.
I've got to say, Jack, demons, ghosts, spirits, and now you've actually managed to piss off a whole mountain. That's impressive.
You said I was blown off the side?
Yeah, you're basically blown out the side of the mountain. All of you were.
I'm going to tap Drummond on the shoulder. Can you set me down now?
I will set her down, but I'm obviously eager to keep moving because being next to a flaming rock is not where I want to be.
Okay, he sets you down begrudgingly, it seems.
And I'm just going to lay down without moving for a minute while everybody's staring at the mountain.
I'm actually yelling for Stasi and trying to look through like the soot and the smoke and yelling her name and just trying to see where she came out.
I will give you a hard spot hidden roll to attempt to find her, given the rubble.
I think I'm pretty motivated to do this. So I'll begin feeling around instead. I'll get closer to the opening.
Mm-hmm.
And just kind of like I'll pull the mask back up that was covering my face before, and just try to fight through the nasty to get to her.
Okay.
So I'm going to push the roll. It's a 75 under 85.
Okay, so it's not a hard roll. You search for quite a long while. You know that she's got to be here somewhere in the rubble, or maybe she was pushed out a little further because maybe the blast went a different way. You pick around and you search around and you see something, and it looks sort of like like the top of a shoe. It's brown. It's got a curve to it, and you think you remember seeing her wearing shoes like that, and so you instantly go for it. And you uncover the dust and the dirt and reach in for the shoe, and you reach in and grab the wood stock of a rifle, and you pull it out the rubble. A rifle, you know. What you don't find is Miss Fairchild.
I'll kind of cradle the rifle and stand up, look at the rifle, look at the sky. Sorry, Jackson. I'll skulk off.
After a few minutes on the road ahead, Jack, you hear heavy footsteps, groups of people making their way towards. You see a group of battered men from New China and a equally bloodied Jack Brady, who looks like his mind is still on fire from being in a war zone. They fan out a little bit around you and just sort of take in this scene. The lava keeps spouting, keeps erupting out until it finally slows. In the glow there's sort of a finality that comes to a couple of things that were happening here. Aubrey's work, the intensive amount of technical work that went into building whatever that thing really was. Brady says, without any prompting, survivors are being loaded onto a boat. They're mostly kids from Shanghai that Aubrey must have had pulled, or Ho Fang did. What happened inside?
They're all dead.
You all right?
No, not really.
I figured as much. A couple of boats can be seen moving towards the island out in the distance. You hear the men around in a different language, one no one here is familiar with, say something in Jack just nods. We're going to take him out as best we can. We can get you back to the mainland.
Yeah, that'd be great.
You see Brady continuing to look around the group. Everybody here?
I guess everybody was coming.
All right. I got to tell you, I never want to come back to this fucking place. Let's go.
Yeah.
Walking back through the tribal village that you skirted originally, it is piles of burned bodies, most unrecognizable at this point. The entire village is being torched. You get back to the port, or where you made port on this sort of nasty, dark, volcanic island. And you see a couple of extra boats have pulled up. These are much like the ones that New China had from before. These are much more military boats.
Stasi didn't make it out, I don't think. Saw her get eaten up by that explosion. Couldn't find her after that. Just found this. So hold out the rifle.
Well, hopefully, wherever she is able to dig her way out.
I don't really think that's how this ends, but yeah.
It is a little hard to believe. Somebody caught up in the explosion. The volcano wall could have come down around her. There's all sorts of really bad ways it ended.
Getting tired of leaving bodies behind.
I looked, I swear.
It's not your fault.
To get you loaded onto the boat. One by one. There's actually a medical officer on one of the boats who, Doc, you get pretty quickly attuned to the style of triage medicine that he is doing.
Jump right in and help him.
You're helping their wounded as well.
Mhm.
Obviously, New China took a considerable hit.
Wound is a wound. A hurt person is a hurt person, and I have an oath to upkeep, so.
Over the next day, the group slowly makes its way back towards Shanghai. Brady informs you that the radio aboard the ship says that the incidents, the protests in Shanghai have continued at some length and ferocity. The student groups and the labor groups backed by, he just says forces, are beginning to really churn through the city and generate a serious amount of unrest. He's not sure what his long-term plans are going to be here, but he made a commitment to New China, and so he sort of tells you that they're going to call the shots for whatever they need him to do. He would offer you the Dark Mistress, but it didn't survive the landing.
That's fine. I don't want to be on that ship anymore anyhow.
Mm-mm.
Over the next day, you all heal 2 hit points because you're pulp characters, so enjoy that. Medicine rolls will get made. I'm going to hand wave them because I don't think it's important enough to roll them. I assume that the doctor's medicine score is already ticked, so he doesn't
Yep.
need the box.
Yep, I got medicine and first aid, so there is no reason to make the actual rolls, not to min-max.
Right. So I'm going to heal you all a D3 hit points as well, given the medicine rolls. And so they'll all heal an additional 2 points before getting back to Shanghai. So that's 4 total. That said, the group probably still isn't 100% at this point. You don't make port directly in Shanghai proper. You end up mooring a little north of it. Not much, but a little. More in the industrial district. You're not going anywhere near the Bund. That's what Brady tells you. When he gets off the ship, you see boxes begin coming off of some of these ships. Long boxes. And Brady asks the group to help unload the ship. They get unloaded into a wagon, a horse-drawn wagon, and a bunch of guys from New China get into that wagon. And they sort of nod at Brady, and that cart of who knows what goes into the night. Brady turns to the group and says, we've all been instrumental in getting some of this stuff settled. I wish I could have seen Aubrey squirm for his life. The rat deserved it.
He didn't really squirm. He did once, but the second time he did not. He just fell to the ground.
I'd rather have seen him strung up, to be perfectly honest, but if you say he's dead, that's all that matters.
Speaking of wanting people dead, I'm guessing that you're probably going to be evacuating China as soon as you wrap up here, considering Lynn still wants your head.
Probably, but I got a feeling that things are going to change here an awful lot. The government here is real shaky, and the boys from New China are going to put a ton of pressure on that government, and they might see if they can get that flapjack to flip.
That's not my grudge.
It's not mine either, but I got a debt to pay. They got me what I needed.
Well, good luck, Jack. We got to get out of here as soon as we can get some transportation.
Sure. You hear light footsteps hustling towards you. Brady turns. Down the wharf, you see a young boy, no more than maybe 10 or 11 years running. Not in fear, not in anger, in purpose. And he runs and runs until he gets to you. And he sort of stops. And in perfect English, the boy says, Jack Brady? And Jack sort of nods at him. What do you want? And he goes, I have a message for you. He hands it out to him. And for just a split second, you think that kid's got a gun.
Right.
And it's a note. And Jack takes the note out of his hand and he opens it. And you see all these, Chinese characters displayed on this note. And Jack looks at it like, what do you want me to do with this?
I can read it.
And he turns to you. Good. At least somebody can. He hands you the note.
I offer the child money.
He takes it immediately.
They wink at him.
Sticks it in his pocket and he winks back at you.
So this note.
It's pretty direct. The message says, to Jack Brady, be advised. The patient you dropped off, Randolph Carter, has gone missing. The staff have searched for him for several days now. The signing at the bottom denotes it has come from a sanitarium in Hong Kong.
I will look at Brady and say, well, it seems that your friend escaped his sanitarium.
There's no way he got better, right?
I doubt it.
Does it say he escaped?
No, it says he's missing. But, I mean, we've come this far and dealt with all of these other things. Do you really think that he didn't?
Only one way to find out.
Thanks, kid. He sort of brushes the kid away. I can't do anything about this. I put him in that place under an assumed name, Randolph Carter, but you all need to know that who they're talking about is Roger Carlyle. He's sick in the worst way. Whatever stuff he got into inside that pyramid broke his mind. And if he's out on the run now...
Oh, I bet I know where he's gone.
I do too.
So we got to go back there.
Go back where?
Africa.
How much do you know about Roger and Hypatia?
A little bit.
I'll give you the quick and dirty version. Hypatia was a photographer. A budding photographer. She was also a budding something else. Roger and her had a thing years ago, before this whole mess started. They ran into a difficulty because of all the fun that they had with one another. Something that Dr. Huston had to solve, as he put it. It caused Hypatia some serious problems. She kept going back to Huston afterwards because she couldn't get the thoughts out of her head. And then began to sort of deal with Roger because Roger started to have all sort of these weird dreams. Roger cares about Hypatia. If she's still out there, he do whatever he could to find her.
Yeah, that means dealing with the things we've been dealing with, because I'm sure he'll make any deal to find her.
Well, let's make no mistake. Roger was inside that pyramid. Roger spoke to that thing and made some sort of deal. It drove him mad afterwards. But that doesn't mean that he doesn't still talk to it.
Well, so we have to go find her and him.
Does that mean we go to Kenya?
I would assume so. That's where they were planning on going.
Well, you'll all need the time to heal up anyway. Most of the charter vessels will have left Hong Kong by now with the unrest. So the pickings might be a little slim.
As long as there's no fishmen.
Well, even if there is, I know a gang of people who can deal with them.
It's true.
Good luck out there, Doyle.
You too.
He sort of glances up towards the Shanghai skyline, and you can see in the distance fires have been started. And it is on that bombshell that we will choose to end. So thank you so much for joining us for season 5 of Masks of Nyarlathotep. It seems we may have one more journey left in us. I'd like to especially thank Heather for coming back and playing Miss Fairchild. It was wonderful to have you back here. And who knows, perhaps again. Thank you. Good night.